Are we getting a new adoption method? That and more from some SimGuru tweets. Hello, my name is Jennifer and welcome to my news video. I will cover that first, but also I have a blog post where I have the links to everything that I will link down below, and I have a few extra little things that I'm not putting here in the blog post if you want to see those tweets. It's just a place where I summarized a whole bunch of recent tweets from the SimGurus. So this tweet with respect to the adoption is how it started versus how it ended, and they show the infant with the option to adopt Channing on it, and then you have the adoption certificate and I expect a milestone in both of the Sims, the infant and the adult milestone, wherever they keep track of them. But what I'm wondering is if the option to adopt the child in this way, in this method, is going to be something that you can do in base game, or whether you're going to need growing together. Obviously, to get the milestone and the adoption certificate, you're going to need growing together, but I'm not sure about the other. And of course, this would be useful and seems to be different than the in-game adopting, where you call up and adopt a infant, baby, or a child. Obviously, I assume you're going to be able to adopt an infant too. And sometimes that would be useful, like if you have a Sims get married and one Sim already had a child or children and you want the spouse to adopt the kids, or you have get to work and your one spouse is abducted and has an alien baby, well, my other spouse wouldn't be able to adopt the child. I played that and I didn't really like that. They're raising the child, so it made sense to me that they would be able to, adopt them as their own child. So I'm hoping that's how it works. And I'm also hoping it is going to be a base game thing. I'm going to have the pack, so it's not that big of a deal, but I think it would be nice for everybody to have, even if you didn't get the pack. But, I guess we'll find out soon enough. Let me know what you think about this. And then moving on. Grimsu Doi tweeted, married Sims now get a marriage certificate and growing together, which you can then customize from these 3 designs in a variety of frames. And Sims can request additional copies via the phone or computer. So what I'm curious with that is if you already have a married couple that got married before you got the pack, will they get married as a milestone? And will they be able to get these marriage certificates? Maybe it won't be automatic, but you could, order the extra ones or the only ones in that case. I'm really curious because I would like it if my Sims who are already married already have it. And also, I would think if you created a new couple and they started married, that they would just start with that as a milestone. And I kind of wonder, like, having babies, if they'd already had babies, if, all of those things that maybe they'd already had and done in the game or whatnot, how that's going to play with the milestones. But that's all from this. Here are the marriage certificates, which are quite fun and will be a nice thing to be able to put up on the wall in your Sims home. So the other thing is SimGuru Morgan. A lot of these tweets are actually going to be from SimGuru Morgan, though there are a few, like as we saw, were from others. She had tweeted a poll asking if she shared a reward trait for one of the 4 new child aspirations, which one would be, the most interesting to be shown. And the Slumber Party Animal one won. And so the reward trait is these Sims are some of the best event hosts. Their friendly and funny socials during parties will always succeed, which seems like a pretty good reward trait. I have to say, I'm really curious what the other reward traits are now, but we got the one. And then you also can see what the milestones are for that one. And there are 3. So you have pajama wear, attend a slumber party, achieve level 3 of social skill. You got storyteller, achieve level 3 creativity, tell 3 stories from a sleeping bag, and exchange a friendship bracelet, and host with the most, achieve gold in a slumber party event, achieve level 6 a social skill, and achieve level 5 a creativity skill. And of course, this is multi-skill, so it doesn't require you to max your skills, your child skills, obviously. So another question I had seen but didn't see answered was the attend a slumber party, if that meant that you could get invited, your Sim kid could get invited to a slumber party. Or I don't know if it's just if you host a slumber party and that'll be considered attend a slumber party. I did, like I said, didn't see an answer to that, but that was pretty interesting. And someone did reply and say, so then, mind and body is mental and motor, creative genius is mental and creative, and the playtime captain guessing social and motor. And she replied correct to all the above, and that they tie into the new objects and a few other kid-friendly activities. So that's what we got about the child aspirations, in particular that one particular one in the reward trait, which, like I said, I think is a pretty good reward trait And then this fun one, when you need to change a diaper away from home. Also, Orion is a stinky baby, and I'll show the little pictures along the way. So this is the public change table that comes with Growing Together. There are no change tables that I noticed in the base game when they showed all the stuff in the live stream. And this is the one that's in the library that Deligracy built. And I have to say I'm a little bit concerned about that quirk about the infant peeing all the time, because personally, when I had infants, when my kids were babies, we covered things up. So if they did have an accident, you didn't have a mess on your hand, which I think, your Sim should be able to do too. But regardless, Iron Seagull did reply and say, are they compatible with toddlers too? And she said, most certainly all changing tables are compatible with toddlers. So the public one and the ones that you have in the home. I will probably be adding these to all of my community lots that I've already edited up. I'd have to make a little bit more room for them because they're, takes more space, obviously, as they do in real life. But I'll still be keeping my potty chairs because I prefer my toddlers to use the potty. A change table for toddlers. But they'll be handy when I need them for toddlers and also obviously for infants. So then some fun ones with respect to dogs playing in the splash pad. But she had the couch potato bulldog wasn't really cooperating to begin with, so was on the little mat, which I did notice in the live stream, particularly the Growing Together portion of the live stream, that these mats seem to be everywhere, and the infants, sometimes it just seemed to pop up. If the infant was placed down, it would pop up underneath. So it does seem like in some cases they need them, but I've also seen it without them. So I don't know if it's they have to have met certain milestones and then they don't need them, again, with Growing Together, because the milestones and that her having to, learn and get to reach those milestones is specific to Growing Together. The infants with base game will be able to do, all the things right away that they can do with base game, but like the finger foods are only with Growing Together, and you need the grab milestone for that. But I was just talking about milestones, and because that little map made me think about it. But anyways, moving along to the dogs. So the dog was not cooperating, and then she picked up the dog and was playing in the water with the dog, and then finally the dog cooperated and was playing around and playing in the water on its own. And then someone did ask, or can kitties join the fun? And she said, I believe you can hold them and play in the water. So it would be like where she was holding the dog. The Sim was holding the dog. It would be similar to that. It doesn't seem like they can play in the water by themselves. And speaking of the splash gardens, she did have a close-up of the items that come for making splash parks. And obviously you can do them at home or at a rec center, pool lot, wherever you want to obviously use them. But there is a close-up there of all the pieces that you can use. That actually, the whale bird is actually a fountain piece that you can add to a fountain. And there is also then the second picture that she showed there was the splash pad in Gilbert Bard Gardens. So you can see all the pieces in action there. And that is obviously a community area as opposed to something that you can edit without a mod. And then she showed some more build stuff, which is the fridge, a new stove, and a new hood. And then she showed the color. And of course the stove here is a different color than the hood and the fridge because she's just showing that color, but it would come in the same color as the fridge and the hood. And there were a few other build items. Those I have on my blog post. So if you want to see them, like rocking chairs and some fun write-ups on some of the build items, I have it all together on my blog post. Then she did show off the outside of one of the starter homes that they didn't get to during the live stream. So this one is in the Gilbert Gardens neighborhood. And we can see it from the outside. It does look like it's pretty small, but it is a starter home, which makes sense. So then someone said, can we see the empty lot in Gilbert Gardens? And so you can see it there. It is in the orientation of how it faces, and it's pretty close to that splash pad, which is kind of fun. And then there is the 40 by 30 lot in Gilbert Gardens, which is one that's pre-built by a little Simsy, but she didn't show the inside because she figured that she would want to show it off by herself. And then fun one, the headscarf, she said is great for elders, but here you can see it's nice also on, a young adult. It can be used anyway. I could see if you were maybe doing like a decades type challenge. That's something that I think of, like, especially in the 50s, but I'm sure there were other times too, but that is what comes to mind for that. And then this fun tweet by The Sims where they show a toddler. It says The Sims 4 Infant Update is baby proof with playpen fences, but we didn't say anything about toddlers. And I know they showed a toddler getting out in the growing together portion of the live stream, but this seems to indicate that that is something that you'll be able to do in base game too, though they do say growing together, and a lot of the things that they're showing here are growing together items, like the rocking chair and the little playmat. I don't remember that I think that might be growing together specific. I don't remember seeing it in the base game update. And some of the other cute things that they show, including, I love the little outfit on the toddler. It's adorable. So I'd love to know what you think about all of this in a comment down below. But that's going to be it for this video. Likes and comments are always appreciated, and they really help with the algorithms. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!